Hey guys, welcome back to the Jeep Solid Garage. So I've had a ton of requests to make a video on the vacuum for the Bestway Costco pool. Now obviously this isn't my normal Jeep repair video. I would be releasing one on Friday though, so stay tuned for that. So let's cover how to set up the pool vacuum real quick. So here's all the parts we're going to be using. We're going to take the handle off the net here and use that. We've got the long tubing for the pool vacuum, and then our filter that goes onto the tubing. And then we need a clamp. I use this as a plug, this little adapter, and the brush. So yeah, I've used this a few times now, and some people complain they don't have enough suction. I'm going to show you the best way to get the most suction out of this, but still it's not great. I think people are expecting it to just suck from all around the edges here really strongly, and you don't get that. Really, your suction is just right in the middle, and these brushes just kind of help break things up on the bottom. So we're going to start by putting our filter on the end of the brush here with a clamp in place, and we know that it goes on in this direction because the way the net is set up in here, this net, we want our flow going that way, and this net it'll extend out like that and catch all the debris as it's going down the line. And it really only fits on one way anyways. It won't fit on that way anyways. So we know that it goes on like this. Got our clamp on there to tighten it down. We have another clamp ready there, and our tubing. We'll slide it down over the top of this, trying to make sure that O-ring doesn't get bound up. Just kind of twist it on. And we're going to take the other end of our hosing and this adapter here and put it on the end. Now I just put this on nice and tight. I don't bother putting a clamp on here. I'm just kind of careful that it stays in place, so I don't think it's necessary to have a clamp. Alright, let's hook it up to the pool. Okay, now we have two ports going out to the filter, right? They're both labeled B. There's port B, and that one there. This is the other port B. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook it up to this one here, obviously on the inside of the pool. I'm going to keep all the tubing out of the pool and feed one end in at a time. So we're trying to get all the water, we're trying to get all the air out of the tubing. Before we can hook it up to the port here, I'm going to loosen this clamp on the outside. And then just grab a hold of this filter, kind of twist it, and it slides out of place. And to get all the air out, I just slowly feed the tubing in, letting the water push the air out. If we get a little bit of air in there, it's okay. I'll show you how to get that out here in a minute. But we have to have all the air out because we can't have our pump on our filter sucking air. It doesn't work. It won't pump with air. Actually, my water level is a little lower than I like. The kids were swimming last night and splashed some water out. So I'm going to add a little bit more in a bit, but now we've got all the air out. We're going to take this end, just shove it into port B here. And I don't bother clamping this either. I just shove it in place and leave it. Now here we have the other port B. Now that's going to interfere with the suction power of this, so we need to cover this up. That's why I use this little plug. And honestly, I'm not sure if they designed this to plug that because it doesn't really say, but it fits nicely as a plug in here. The other thing you can do that I've done in the past is I've actually just taken some saran wrap and laid it over the top of that when the pump's on, and it'll just suck tight. if you don't cover up this other port, you're going to lose half of your suction power. So you have to cover this guy up. Okay, now that we've got everything hooked up, we can turn our pump on. Now I've actually got a few tips on how to get the most suction out of this thing. There's one other thing you can do, which honestly I don't really do because it's a huge pain. It takes more time than what I think it's worth. So I just kind of use this like this, and it seems to work fairly well. You gotta go real slow though, and it will pick up all that debris. But like I said, you're not going to get vacuum over that whole surface. It's mainly a brush with a little vacuum in the middle. Now if you really want to improve the suction more, you have to just decrease the resistance through the pump. So it means eliminating your solar panel if you're using the solar panel. So take that hose off down there, you're going to leak water all over the place while you end up attaching it right there and bypassing your solar panel. That will just increase the flow. This actually provides a lot of resistance, and that's why some of you are getting high filter pressures. I believe it's because of this solar panel. I still use it because it does help heat the pool up, but like I said, I don't bother doing that. I just use the vacuum as is like I showed you, and it does a decent job. And the other thing you have to be very mindful of when you're vacuuming, when your pump's on, your system's running, you cannot lift this out of the water at all. It'll start sucking air immediately. If you do that, inadvertently, you get some water in your system. Let me show you a quick fix. And you'll hear the pump change sounds like that when you start sucking air. So we're going to turn our pump off real quick. And then all you have to do is come to this valve here. I crack this a bit. Let the air out. You're going to leak a little bit of water, which is fine. Close it back up. And you might have to reprime your system depending how much air you have in your tubing. You might have to disconnect the tubing and start over again with getting all the air out. But once you've done that, flip her back on, you should be good to go. And I found the easiest way for me to vacuum it is I hook the system all up and let the kids do it. I always turn it upside down before I lift it out of the water so the debris I've caught stays in there. Disconnect the hose. And then finally put the screens back on the ports there, and you should be good to go. So leave a comment down below, let me know if this video helped you out, and be sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, have a good day.